Hello and good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I am so excited this morning because I have a very special guest. Sean Cannell is here. He's going to teach us all of his secrets about YouTube for Amazon influencers. I know we are constantly getting questions about how can we grow our channel on YouTube. And Sean, I'm always saying, you know what? I don't know, but I'm going to go look at Sean's stuff. So I definitely do not proclaim to be a YouTube expert. It is very much a secondary, channel for us here. But I know I'm excited to learn. Everyone else is excited to learn. And thank you so much for being here today.
Thanks so much for having me. It's great to see everyone, or if they're on the replay, thanks so much for being here. Yeah, I've got a lot of powerful stuff, and I just love all of your stuff because it's so cool what can happen on platform on Amazon with Amazon Influencer and the on-platform content. But there is so much opportunity right now. Even if you just have a smartphone, you're making simple videos to either start a YouTube channel or grow your YouTube channel and do so much stuff with Amazon affiliates and even start spinning off into multiple income streams. I think it's gonna be a really fun live stream and video that we get to do together.
Yes, me too. I'm so excited. We have quite a few people on already. We've got Doug and Nikki, good morning. Yes, Nomads, good morning. Extra for review, good morning. Jerry Mickey's here. We've got Lori Bloom, Denise is here. Lisa, oh my gosh, Christy, Clicks to Create Smiles, Samantha. Thank you all so much for joining live, and of course, everyone watching the replay later. I'm pumped to talk about YouTube, and so without further ado, let's just go ahead and get started. If you guys don't already know Sean is the founder of Think Media. He is a best-selling author and one of the top YouTube strategists in the world. His mission is to help purpose-driven creators build their influence and income with YouTube. And with over 3 million subscribers and decades of experience in video marketing, he knows exactly what it takes to grow on YouTube. And today he is here to help Amazon influencers like us do just that. So we welcome your feedback. We want to hear your questions, but we're just going to go ahead and dive into some of the questions that I have. And Sean is going to give us his expert advice. So I want to start off with, a lot of Amazon influencers are great at creating product videos for Amazon, right? But YouTube can feel very overwhelming, as it was for myself in the beginning. So, Sean, what would you say are some of the biggest myths or misconceptions that people have about growing a YouTube channel today?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest myths about growing a YouTube channel is that you have to have fancy tech. That is a myth. You don't need any kind of fancy camera. Maybe YouTube feels like you have to have a higher level of gear, but it's not true. Just your smartphone and creating simple videos can make a big impact on YouTube. I think another myth is that you have to have yourself really put together and maybe be super charismatic and have some level of production value or confidence on camera. I think if you're just a friend, helpful, you show up and talk about, again, different products that answer people's problems and solve problems for them, then people can get value. And then I think the other myth could be that, well, YouTube is too crowded and there's just too many people there. But the answer is it's not too crowded, especially with this community. We teach a couple different frameworks we can cover later, but we talk about answering specific questions, teaching specific skills, and reviewing specific products. And this idea of the same thing we're doing on Amazon, there's a particular way to do it on YouTube when it comes to reviewing specific products is a massive opportunity because people are going to YouTube as a search engine and looking for information about products. So if you just turn on your smartphone and you're helpful and you're just kind of thoughtful about the same thing you would do on Amazon, maybe with a little bit longer of a time frame to answer questions, talk about the pros and cons, talk about how a product can help an individual. People are searching for information about products on YouTube, and there's actually a lot of gaps of products that haven't been covered or comparisons that haven't been created. So the good news is you could start from zero. You don't need a big following. You could start from zero, start creating the right videos optimized in the right way, and actually start getting discovered and getting income through Amazon affiliates. So I think, one of the biggest myths is it's too crowded. You need a fancy camera. You need some high level of charisma. And none of that's true. You just got to start messy, start with a simple system that we'll talk about in this video, and you can start getting traction, YouTube growth and views, and making money.
Oh, that's such a relief to hear because I think, I know for me, one of the biggest misconceptions, you need all this fancy equipment and you need superior editing skills. And with the Amazon influencer videos, we kind of do the opposite, right? We use our smartphones and we, don't do a ton of fancy editing. So I think that's a relief. I know for me and for some other people as well, that we don't need to go out and buy a bunch of equipment and, you know, go take classes on how to edit for YouTube.
100%.
So we have a really great question here about niching down. Let me just throw this up on the screen here because Doug and Nikki are one of our regulars, and I know Doug and Nikki have been following you, Sean, for 10 years. They told me that the last live stream that I did. They want to know, so how do we effectively niche down for YouTube's algorithm when your subject matter is so wide? For example, he's reviewing a pool robot, coffee maker, RC car, men's fashion, 360 camera. This is such a great question because I know, kind of one of the things I teach is like, just put all of your Amazon videos on the YouTube channel. And while that helps to repurpose it, I don't think that's very helpful with growing subscribers and really niching down. What do you think, Sean?
So, I mean, there's a couple thoughts here. I think number one, YouTube judges individual pieces of content in 2025. And a lot of social platforms are doing that, really, in a way, all of them. And so there's kind of two parts to this conversation. There's actually this big truth that has emerged in how algorithms work, in that followers don't matter and subscribers don't matter. Let me explain. There's a lot of old channels, mine included. If you've been around for a while, you've grown a subscriber base, but as many subscribers as you have, that's certainly not how many videos, views you're getting. And same thing on Instagram, you might have however many followers you have. It doesn't mean your content is reaching that many people, because what's happening now is it's no longer really social media, it's interest media. And so when someone is interested in something, that is the kind of content that's being recommended to them. So if you start researching coffee makers, then what inevitably happens on YouTube after you maybe search for coffee makers or type in a search or something, then your homepage probably will be filled with other information about coffee makers, and then potentially adjacent topics, maybe other coffee accessories, or they start, kitchen appliances. Because what YouTube is doing is, one of the ways it judges what videos get recommended to you is your previous watch history, what you've consumed and what you've searched for. So if any individual video gets pulled into the YouTube algorithm, you might, and I'm sure y'all have seen, Doug and Nikki, that like a couple of your videos, maybe 20% of your library has gotten a disproportionate amount of more views than your other videos. Some videos break through. And once YouTube maybe really understands that like your coffee maker video is something people love, and a lot of people were searching for that coffee maker video, well, then the individual video can take off. And so there is an opportunity to, if you will, just post diverse content. Some of it breaks out, some of it can get discovered. For years, I have a personal channel that I did a lot of experiments on, and had a lot of success and made really good money with affiliate marketing. And I did green juice videos. I actually did a video about CBTL coffee pods, coffee bean tea leaf. I did vlogs at a certain point. And some of the videos, though, that I put out there ranked, meaning they kept getting views for years. And as a result, but the channel was really diverse and covered just a lot of different random things. So big idea number one is it can work. But big idea number two is it may not be the best approach depending on what your goals are. So are your goals to rank as many as possible, but random individual videos that get some views, have affiliate links in the description. So you make some money doing product reviews, talking about products. And if that's what the goal is, then great, then having maybe a channel with a lot of different things on it could work. If your goal though is to build a brand or a personal brand, you want to be known for something. And the thing is, if you have a channel that's just a bunch of different random products, unless somebody subscribe, here's the one question everyone should answer. It's like, why should people subscribe to your channel? And what would make them want to come back and return to your channel? And a lot of times the product review experience is problem-based, and someone's not looking for a channel to follow. They're looking for information about an individual product. That's not bad. That's like a search-based mentality. So somebody is looking for a new Insta360 camera. They go to YouTube, they start searching for that product name. Maybe they're comparing a few other camera options and they're not sure which they want to purchase. They somehow find your video. They find it very valuable. They may or may, even if they click subscribe, their pain point that day was, I'm looking for a camera. They found your video. It was very helpful, answered some of their questions. They click your affiliate link. They purchase the product. You get that commission. They even had a great experience. But from that point on, maybe they're not planning on making any other purchases. And the logical connection is not like, well, I already have a coffee maker. And I actually just don't want to see a lot of different products in general. Even if they click subscribe, they might not continue to engage. It's probably very common, right? Because there's not like a consistent reason for them to come back to your channel. Another way to put it is if you had like a QVC channel, like on this channel, we do live streams or videos every week to talk about the hottest products. If that's the value proposition and you build an audience that's like, that's what I want. Like, I want to come to your channel to just learn about products. Then that would be the brand you build. But, it's kind of hard to do. And so the alternative point is, if the powerful thing is if you niche down and make a channel promise that gives somebody a reason to subscribe and to keep coming back and watching, that is relevant to how humans actually act. That's the power of, if you will, having a niche. And so for what it's worth, eventually I narrowed my niche after doing a lot of random stuff on my personal channel to say, okay, when I really went all in on Think Media, my brand today, it was like, okay, we're going to be the best tips and tools for people that want to create content and online video. Thus, we're going to talk about cameras, lighting. And so we sort of like drew a circle and said, there's actually quite a few things still in that circle: lighting, cameras, tripods, microphones, not even consumer tech. Tech is broad. Narrowed it down to like creator tech, people that want to create content. And that's been helpful, because even that being true, we found one of the difficult things. I learned this when I had some friends over, Jace and Chelsea, and we were having dinner, and they said, I used to watch your channel for quite a while. I go, you used to? And it's like a friend too. I'm like, well, thanks, bro. You don't watch anymore? He's like, yeah, I used to watch your channel. He said, the problem is I was watching your channel, studying cameras and accessories for quite a few months, but then eventually I made a purchase, and I purchased a Sony A6400 camera, and I love it. And he goes, but what I did is I stopped watching your channel. I go, why? He goes, because all it was doing was giving me like FOMO, fear of missing out, and desire. He goes, you just kept exposing me to the newest camera and the latest thing. I already bought a camera. I didn't actually kind of want to hear about more cameras. I'm like, well, we talk about other stuff. He's like, yeah, well, I kind of tuned out. Like, it just wasn't helpful. It was like a distraction. I had already purchased the gear I needed to create content, but it was an epiphany for me, because I was like, oh, that makes sense. Even on Think Media, sometimes my audience might be a little bit transient, because they eventually scratch that itch, and they don't. How often do they buy products? Are they going to buy products every week? And is there something consistent? So I know I've said a lot here, but like thinking through perhaps the customer journey and the customer experience and the viewer experience. This is why, if you were to niche into something like motherhood and parenting, and every week you're doing shopping hauls and grocery hauls, and there's stuff to buy for the kids, and it's the winter season and they're a little sniffly and sick, so you're talking about echinacea, but there's a theme to it. And they're actually, yes, if I follow you on this journey and theme, there is stuff I would buy all the time. Like my kids are growing, and so there's maybe something could come along with you on the journey. But even that being true, I think it's just being aware of just being like random, trying to rank videos. Great strategy. Random videos, whichever ones pop off, they can make some money. People find them, but they leave. And I might not. Some people stick around, but it's not as much audience building. It's more like individual videos. Or can I bring a cohesive theme? I wouldn't even say there's necessarily a right or wrong answer. The point of all of these thoughts would just be you being more intentional to be strategic about what do you want to build over the next 6 months, 12 months, and even multiple years.
Yeah, definitely. That was so much amazing information. And I think, one thing that resonated with me was, what's the goal? What is the goal of your channel? Are you just okay with taking your Amazon videos, putting them up on YouTube, putting that link in there and, kind of hoping people find it? Or are you really trying to grow a personal brand, that you can niche down with, and people will come find you and want to come back to your channel, right? Because with Amazon, it's so much different, right? We're collecting followers to our storefronts, but there's it's not like YouTube, right? Where we can actively create content that draws, people in and learn about our audience and what do they want and do that keyword research and all that good stuff. So really think about what are your goals with the channel and then kind of take that as your next step. Super valuable. Thank you. I think one other thing, I know I get this question a lot too, is, kind of piggybacking on. So we're, as Amazon influencers, we're creating these short videos, kind of no frills. We just want to showcase the product and hope we convert that sale. What do you think are a few like easy ways that Amazon influencers can level up their content to YouTube that doesn't feel, overwhelming, that's, still doable?
Yeah, I think the easiest way to level up your content on YouTube and effectively be like an Amazon affiliate is, here's a couple numbered tips. I'm making them up in my head, but I'll do my best to kind of number through them linear. I think step number one is thinking about viewer intent. The powerful thing is to create videos that the viewer intent is actually to make a purchase. So a lot of people in our world will be like, I'm a vlogger, and they're maybe covering their life, or they vlog their fishing trips or something like that. But if someone's there, what is their intent for being there? Well, it's maybe entertainment, curiosity, versus if somebody, think about what they're typing in search. And if their intent is something like Nordic track exercise bike, which I believe you could buy on Amazon, versus, and then actually maybe Peloton, which you probably can't buy on Amazon. You buy it directly from Peloton, or I'm not sure. And well, what's the intent of that video search? Well, they're at a point where they're trying to make a decision between two different products. And by the way, this is worth like writing down, remembering. And this insinuates you would make new content probably, because your review videos you're posting on Amazon wouldn't work for this because they're going to be individual for the product. But here's what I think probably is one of the most effective YouTube videos for making money with Amazon affiliates: a versus video, aka a comparison video. Because think about the viewer intent. If you're trying to say, do I get the Nespresso, product name, new version, or do I get a Keurig? What's interesting, and actually, if you throw up on screen, I know I'm sharing my screen here. Let's actually go Nespresso. Okay, I'll zoom in here. We have the Nespresso machine versus Keurig versus the Ninja coffee maker versus the Breville. A couple things we just have an aha moment here. The YouTube search bar autocomplete is a gold mine for video ideas. So you could type in a product name, you have an Nespresso, and let's say maybe you know exactly what you have. You have the Nespresso Barista versus the Aerosino 4. That is such a specific. Now let's search it. Okay, so then here's a simple video. This looks like, look at how it starts. It starts with not the person's not even on camera. Shaky phone, kind of finger pointing at. Now they have these three products, but depending on what you have from Amazon, let's talk about it. You know, you've got your different products. This whole time, there's no editing in this video. Talk it through the different ones, pros and cons, whatever. Okay, we're learning. And this video has got, here's their Amazon link right here. Little hashtags, commission earned, some description stuff. We go over to their link tree. This is not the way I would do it, but this, I guess, is their way of setting up every Amazon. We have UK, Germany, Canada, Europe, France, and Amazon US. So they've actually used a link tree to link to the different Amazon stores globally. But this video has 394,000 views. Why?
Wow.
Well, globally, how many people they're searching for the Aerocano 3 versus the Aerocano 4 versus the Barista? And why is this happening? And still actually getting 3 views per hour. This hour-long live stream we're doing together, 3 people are going to watch this video that's 5 years old. And the amount of affiliate income this individual, I mean, it's probably off the chart. This is insane, right? Can you imagine 394,000 views? And then we could go down and we see similar videos, another one from the same channel, a different video. This person's got a little bit more of a fancier setup, 139,000 views. But this is the versus strategy. So you could bring the screen down. I think that would be the starting point to really be effective on YouTube, is to say, okay, I'm going to do my research ahead of time. I'm going to think about the video idea, but I want to get in front of the viewer intent. And the powerful thing about a specific product review, but even better, a product comparison, is in marketing, you would call this like, where are you on the sales funnel? And you're deeper in like someone's sales journey. Like, and what that would mean is like, someone's like, you know what? I need a coffee maker. And that's very high up. They don't know the brands. They don't know the names. But then eventually they're doing their research and they learn, oh, there are different coffee makers. But they're so much further down in the journey where they are now saying like, you know what? I've narrowed it down. I'm going to get the Aracino from Nespresso. But should I get the 3 or 4? Like, I've read the 3. I could save some money on the 3, but the 4 has some new features. Like, that's what they're talking to their spouse. They're like, yeah, which one do we get? Well, let me go to YouTube. And they type that in. That's a moment where the individual basically has credit card in hand, ready to make a purchase. Your video brings clarity to just the pros and cons of each of them. You educate the viewer by saying, hey, if you want to check these out, I've put links in the description. And thus, you actually get conversions, like sales on Amazon, because of where the intent is, the intent of the video. You're being found because you're tapping into YouTube being a search engine. And, if all goes well, this individual shot a simple video on their smartphone the whole time, no editing, and got 394,000 views for 5 years. The video is still getting views, which is the main thing we teach. Ranking videos. What's a ranked video? A video that you posted 5 years ago that's still getting views today. A video you posted 5 years ago that's still getting 3 views per hour today. That just was a simple video shot on the person's phone that then effectively links to Amazon links and is making you passive income. It's an interesting case study that came up. I didn't even know that was going to be what showed up, when we talked about coffee makers inspired by the last question. But that's like our whole thesis. The power of YouTube is it's the second largest search engine in the world. People are looking for answers to specific questions, and they're looking for reviews of specific products. But the versus strategy is even more powerful than an individual product review, because someone now is at that moment of decision. I've done this for years now, 2 different cameras. People are, they're at a point, do I get the Sony camera, a Canon camera, these 2 Sony cameras? And it's one reason why we make over $10,000 a month in Amazon affiliates. We're not doing what you're doing as far as the on-platform content. That's off-platform using YouTube and Amazon affiliates.
Yeah, no, that's incredible. And I think that, I think some people are out there making comparison videos and other people aren't. There was an an incentive a couple years back from Amazon, which I think I can talk about now because it's probably 2 years old. But they prompted everyone to do videos with the hashtag this or that, and that's exactly what they were asking for, was 2 comparison videos. The items had to be either, you know, the same product or in the same category, and so Amazon was really pushing that kind of content for creators to be making on their platform. So I think just revalidates everything that you just said. And so, you know, if people are looking to level up their Amazon videos for YouTube, you guys consider doing these comparison videos, especially if you have 2 very similar items, or maybe you bought, you know, this one last year and now you've upgraded to this one this year. Compare those two and let people know, because you're way more likely to make a sale if you're talking about these 2 products, right? As opposed to one. Here's the product, here's why I love it. And then they decide, do I want this or not? Whereas now I'm showcasing 2 products and they're like, oh, which one should I get? They're probably going to buy one, right? It could potentially increase that conversion rate. We had a really good question from one of our regulars, Olina. Sean, how important is the YouTube description box for ranking videos and getting more views? And what are the most effective things that we should be including in it?
Great question. So if we were to tier in 2025, how much weight and influence YouTube optimization aspects have, the title versus the description versus tags versus time codes and chapters, and thinking about, you know, what matters most. If we go in reverse, YouTube themselves has said that tags are not something that they maybe have 1% influence. They're not very influential, but I would argue they're still worth doing. You could look at a website. We can put my screen up again here. If you go to rapidtags.io, it's a free tags generator. And if I type in Nespresso Barista, let's say, and you just go enter, it'll in 1 second give you all the tags. You could just copy them. Nespresso Barista review, Nespresso Barista recipes. So there's no excuse not to do your tags and do them well. You could just use that website. It's called rapidtags.io. You could bring my screen down. And that, so that's kind of cool. Like, boom, tags are done. But it doesn't carry a ton of weight, but you should do it. And it's some reinforced metadata to Google, who owns YouTube, that can help search and ranking, especially when you're starting a new channel. You want to be really effectively optimizing your videos so they could be found, especially because what we're doing here on this conversation is a little bit different, right? We actually really want to be specific in the sense is it the version 3 or the 4, and have we given it adequate data? I would then say next, the description maybe has, as far as ranking goes, I don't know, 5%, 10% influence on whether a video will rank or not. And also, when we're living in watch this. So if we could bring my screen back, you could go to Chat GPT and say something like, hey, can you write a quick SEO description for my YouTube video and include all of these keywords? And I copied these from the rapid tags. And so here's a keyword-rich optimized description. Ready to upgrade your coffee game? In this Nespresso Barista review, we dive deep in an Nespresso Barista machine. See, they're bold with the actual exact keyword phrases. So this is going to be some reinforced metadata for your description. You learning this is not, again, going to make the worst video of all time start to rank, but this is the ability to do best practices and then say, okay, I'm going to reinforce my description. Now, let's also say this. The first line of your description should be optimized pretty effectively. For example, if I guess we could bring the screen back up, maybe we'll just leave it up during this little tutorial part. I'm going to keep showing you more stuff. Okay, so this video that ranks here, it says we review the Nespresso Irachino 4. See how this is on the homepage where it's searched. You do get the first line of the description when someone's searching on YouTube. And when I type in these exact search phrases, YouTube is bolding those words being in that first line. So you could still come over here and say, what would be a 10-word or less YouTube, the first line for my YouTube description that I could put into with keywords. Now, what we started with here was, so I mean, there you go. Nespresso Barista Review, Recipes, Machine Tests, and Creations Guide. So see how fast this could happen with AI. So now we're going in descending tags, not super important, but might as well do them. Description, absolutely should do them. Title, a ton of influence. The title is so important, and you want to make sure you have really what the video is about. This is a good one. The Arrowchino 3, verse 4, colon, what's the better Nespresso milk frother? Question mark. It's a great title, very practical, but you want to make sure your title includes the terms and or keywords that you want to be found for, but also is, if possible, written in a way that is clear, speaks to humans. I would say clean, like sometimes people, you don't need to do this in 2025. You don't need to like repeat the keywords, like Nespresso milk frother 3 parentheses best Nespresso milk froth, and like people, like it's kind of like an old keyword stuff type title. You don't need that, but you want to be very thoughtful about how you're crafting your title. We could come over here. What would be 10 title ideas for a product review video about the Nespresso barista that also are written with curiosity in them, and that would make humans want to click? So basically you're saying you want SEO, search engine, and human aspects. So this is kind of interesting. So Nespresso barista review, what they don't tell you is putting some drama in it. I tried the Nespresso barista recipe maker. Is it worth it? Is it overhyped? So, okay, now we're having a strong title. And then finally, how important is the description? Well, here's what I would say is the mistake 99% of creators make is you want a clickable link above the fold. Because if you want to effectively earn money with affiliate marketing, you don't want to you want to make sure you actually do your link. You actually have the link there. Include a description, hashtag commissions earned. I suppose that works. Our description we do, that's in basically every video on our channel, is we'll say whether the video is sponsored or not. That's just something we do. We have a call to action in this case to one of our own things, but the video is not sponsored. Some links are affiliate links, which means if you buy something, we'll receive a small commission. And then we've got our links all organized. In this case, we're doing Genius links. And notice these are below the fold, but we actually have a call to action to one of our own things above the fold. So assuming the video is going to lead straight to an affiliate product, you would want to make sure that you've got a link above of the fold. That's not optimization. It's not going to help the video rank. It's going to help you get sales because you've effectively kind of organized your video together. So in summary, title carries the most weight and a significant amount of weight. Then the description is important, and you might as well do best practices. And with rapidtags.io and ChatGPT, you could do that really fast. Tags, might as well do it. And then, I mean, there's some things to learn here. There's like thinking about, we don't have a ton of time to go into it, but like thinking about your keyword universe around a product would be sort of the idea. Is like, when you think about keywords or tags, it is being thoughtful that, okay, coffee maker is a word, espresso maker is a word. Like, what are like the keyword universe around what it is I'm talking about? And then as you learn some of these things, you could do it quickly with the help of AI. The mistake that people make is that some of these softwares and tools are helpful, but yet kind of ineffective if you don't learn the mindset and the strategy. So then lastly would be time codes and chapters can also be a really great thing to optimize your videos with, because they themselves can actually be search engine optimization reinforcement. And so what that means is in your YouTube description, you start with 0:00, the beginning of the video, and you might say, Nespresso Arrowchino 3 versus 4. And then the second thing is like Arrowchino 3, pros and cons. Then the next section of the video, Arrowchino 4. And what these are is they're clickable time codes and chapters, so people could skip through the video, conclusion, test. Like, and has anyone seen this before? If you're here live, you could say, have you been on a video that is organized with the YouTube time codes and chapters? It means people can find sections. But here's what's so powerful about that. This can help your video rank on the first page of Google, because when Google owns YouTube, and when you go to Google, we may have seen this, there's this thing called key moments where you search for something and there's a video there, but it takes you to like minute 3 in the video, because there's basically a search term like, can you put really hot water in the Nespresso? Because everybody wants to know that, let's say, and then like that moment is ranking on Google. Well, that's the reinforcement of time codes and chapters. So let's take a breath. It's kind of a lot. I mean, it's like a fire hose of information, but this is learnable and figure outable. And think about the benefit. You know, we looked at this video, it's got 394,000 views and it still gets 3 views an hour. And it's got the affiliate links of just these Nespresso milk frothers compared. We're talking about passive income for years to come as you build a library of ranked videos. That's our thesis. What if one ranked video at a time? But imagine if you just had 3 ranked videos, 10 ranked videos you create today, you create them in the next month, you create them over the next quarter, and they keep getting views for years to come. And not only are people discovering them, but they're clicking your affiliate links. And then imagine if you started to get real serious about this right now, doing a little bit of this on your extra time, learning these skills, mastering this process. How positioned are you going to be, one, in 10 days on Amazon Prime Day, but on Cyber Monday and Black Friday this year? And here's not what I mean. I don't mean you actually like going live on Black Friday or Cyber Monday. I mean, imagine if you create a library of ranked videos. You just start to devote some time to this now, a few extra moments a week, and you rank videos. And so when people sit down, they grab their coffee, they're sitting in their bathrobe, they have their slippers on. It's the morning of Black Friday. They're shopping on Amazon, but they're on Amazon, but they're then on YouTube also doing some product research. I know I wanted to get my husband a new milk frother, but I'm not sure if I should get the Arachino 3 or 4. All right. So they go to YouTube, they type it in, they see your video. Oh, wow. I think I'm going to go with the 4. They click your link. Well, then on Black Friday, but then on Black Friday, they end up spending, this family's pretty affluent. They spend $5,000 that day, and they bought all kinds of stuff. They bought the milk frother, but they're going to do it all that day. They bought like a Nintendo Switch. They bought some other stuff. Remember, you get a portion of credit for that. And Amazon actually, I think, just updated the terms. It used to be like a smaller percentage, but they just increased that in terms of you getting credit and income from not just the thing you recommended, but everything else somebody purchases on Amazon within that 24-hour cookie window. That is the compound effect of making simple videos on YouTube, ranking them, optimizing them effectively, and then building up a flywheel of affiliate income that can go from a few extra $100 a month to literally thousands or tens of thousands a month over years as you compound ranking videos.
Yeah, that's, oh my gosh, an amazing amount of information. And Olina, Clicks That Create Smiles, said, thank you so much for your knowledge. Great info. I think that's the dream, right? Is to have as many of those evergreen ranked videos that will appear every hour, every day, but especially will be able to help us during these sales events like Prime Day and Black Friday. And so get strategic with your videos. And I hope everyone's writing down what Sean just revealed, because you can always go back and rewatch it. But that was some amazing information. Thank you. And we have, so I want to talk about subscribers. I know there are quite a few people on here that have over 1,000 subscribers. Some people have less than 1,000 subscribers. Some people on here just started their YouTube channel today. And Sean has a great free resource to help you get to that first 1,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys either scan the UPC code here or click the link that's in the chat here if you want to learn more about how to get more traffic to your affiliate links, how to get those first 1,000 subscribers. And so to kind of go along with that, Sean, what are some of your pro tips on how people can get to their first 1,000 subscribers, knowing that, we're all Amazon influencers and not all of us have totally niched down yet. So feel free to tell us to do that if that's part of the plan.
Yes. And so, I think some people might just be jumping on, but we'll probably, that link, by the way, goes to an on-demand opportunity to go through 5 trainings that will walk you through some of our best strategies for getting your first or next 1,000 subscribers, and then learning some of the monetization opportunities. Because actually, the cool thing about this, Kathleen, is like we want to rank videos, send it to Amazon, but as you know, eventually you can start making multiple income streams. I like the big 4 that I think are very exciting for what we're talking about on this live stream is eventually YouTube's paying you for the views. So that's one income stream once you get monetized. You're getting your Amazon affiliate income and commissions through the Amazon associates. So that's another income stream. And then as your influence grows, you are getting free products eventually, because especially if you're in a niche, brands start saying, oh, cool, you could do a product review for us, or you're doing comparison videos. I see that brands, especially when it comes to the 4th one, would be getting paid to actually do a brand sponsored video. So those things can all stack. They don't all start at day 1, but eventually you might be being paid to make a video that they send you the product that you also have an affiliate link to, and you got paid for the views on the YouTube video. Pretty wild, but that is what creators all over the world are doing. And even what you would call micro and nano influencers are doing as well. So meaning under 10,000 subs or under 50,000 subs. And I know that's still a huge number, like 10,000 subscribers, but it can be practical. So what are a few thoughts? Some of the things you'll learn in that free resource that we have is we do say answer specific questions. What videos can you make that answer the specific questions people are searching for? And this is kind of a big aha moment, because on the one hand, you could title your video the specific product name, best, or like a hair curler, super cool hair curler 7,500, making something up. Or you might title it best hair curler ? They're not sure what the product name is. They're looking for a pain point. This is a big opportunity, because the specific question they're asking is, and this is actually how I've built my brand. People were looking for what is the best camera for YouTube. Yes, deeper in the conversation, they might know the product name, but they're just curious, what is the best camera for YouTube? And then you might ask, well, what if, calling it the best? Well, that's why you would title it best hair curler ? And even better, talking about niching down, is it, throwing some stuff out here that I'm not really an expert here, but it might be like best, foundation for oily combination skin types. Like the more nuanced, even better. Like what is the best for this very specific best electric grill under $500? Very powerful. And so ultimately, how do you get your first 1,000 subscribers? Well, by putting out content that people are searching, answering specific questions, reviewing specific products. And then as people discover your videos, that becomes like the 5th benefit. We'll recap them again. Eventually get monetized. YouTube's paying you for views. People are clicking your affiliate links. Number 2, you're making money. Number 3, you eventually start getting sent free product. Dollar saved. You're funding your hobby. You got cool stuff. Number 4, brands start paying you. Number 5, you're getting subscribers. What does that mean? It's future impact. You could call it future income, in the sense that now people are subscribed and it's less about finding a specific video, but future videos you post, which is future ad revenue from YouTube if it's topics they're interested in, future things they could learn about, and the extended opportunity of, if you had a golf channel and you talked about golf accessories and golf hats and golf polos and tees and balls and clubs. And at this point, Amazon's not the only affiliate opportunity in town, right? There's, I don't know what the golf store is called. There's not Top Golf is a fun place, but there's that big old box golf store. Like you can set up for affiliate programs for a lot of different places, but then here's the point. Maybe eventually you create a mini course that helps people with their golf game, or you create you find other types of offers where maybe there's a golf coaching program that you didn't even create, but you promote that as well. Well, if you've built up an audience and subscribers in a particular niche like golf, really the ways to monetize extend far beyond the first four we talked about. There's like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 as you start building your brand. So that was a few rabbit trails around the idea of building subscribers. At the end of the day, the cool thing about subscribers is I think they're a byproduct of the strategic videos you're creating, the intent you're creating, the strategy. You said it so well early on. What's your goal? What's kind of the bigger goal you're going for? Ranking one video around one product or one comparison is a cool target. It's a great way to get started. But as we dream together, it's like thinking about, okay, what kind of brand could you build? And like giving yourself, again, there's so much information here, but like pacing yourself. You know, you're busy, you got kids, you're working, you got a full-time job, you got different stuff. You know, just a few strategic hours a week spent intentionally and strategically, compounded, yes, over the next 3 to 6 months, but where could you be 3 years from now? That's the powerful thing about YouTube, is it's really the compound effect, the effect of consistency, of getting kind of 1% better every time you upload a video, of dialing in these details, is what is a few $100 a month side hustle could eventually become a multiple $1,000 earning main thing that allows you to retire your husband, that allows you to, you know, do the travels that you want to do, that lets you go part-time at work, because you're chipping away at it just a few hours a week, and leveraging the fact that, especially when you're ranking videos, you're investing in something today, where you create a video today that's still working for you a couple of years from now.
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, there are so many takeaways from that. Work smarter, not harder, right? Build your audience. And like, how many different ways can you monetize your channel, your content? There's so many ways past just posting our affiliate links in the description, you know, of all of our YouTube channels. One quick follow-up question I have for you, Sean. What are some of your favorite or some of the best ways to like find those questions that people are asking, that we can, you know, target our videos? Like, how do we know what kind of, you know, espresso machine people are looking for, or what are the biggest questions around, you know, products that people are looking for on Prime Day, maybe?
Let's if you bring up my screen.
Sure.
So the big concept here is the power of topic validation. Sorry, I need to actually share it first with you.
I don't see it yet.
And so, and the best way to do that is going to be the YouTube search bar. So I've got actually your channel pulled up. We go to the YouTube search bar, and I'll kind of freestyle off maybe some of the ideas on here. So you've got, okay, a biometric deadbolt. Is it worth it? This is a good title. Lockley Secure Pro Smart Lock, biometric deadbolt. Is it worth it? So let's look up biometric. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to use YouTube autocomplete. And we're going to look at, it starts finishing your sentence for you. And it will start giving us in order of what people are searching for. So when you type in biometric, they're looking for the attendance system, the gun safe, the trigger lock. So here's the first step. We teach 7 steps in our program called Video Reiki Academy. The first step is reverse engineer. The second step is research. So we're talking about research here. And what we want to do on research is we want to validate our ideas. So let's say you have a bunch of stuff in your garage, as we all do. You actually, instead of just saying, you know what, I think I'm going to make a video about my grill, the first step might be to think, okay, what should I do? Do I want to make a video about the Neo chair? Neo chair. Well, we've validated that on YouTube, people are searching for it. Great. So then we say, okay, people want an assembly video. Well, this becomes really important. We haven't recorded yet. We actually, and at that point, they already have it. They're looking for a tutorial. Okay, the office chair, the ergonomic office chair, people are looking for the review. Great. So we could go over here and say, comparison of the Neo chair versus the high back mesh chair, 154 views, my impression of the Neo chair. And actually, this reviews a couple things to it. We could get a little traffic with this, but it also reviews that there's actually not a ton the best way to validate how many views a video can get is searching it then and seeing how many views other people get. And this makes sense. This niche chair, there isn't a ton of necessarily traffic around it. Totally fine. That then brings us to the idea of this best office chair 2025, 2024. Under 200, under 300, under 500. Well, how much is the Neo chair? So now this is all positioning of the video. And if we come over to Amazon and we see, okay, currently unavailable. Also, it's actually kind of funny. Like this will happen a lot. It's like, why am I not getting sales? Well, that's probably why. It's not even in stock. You should change the link, update your videos, clean up your videos. So okay, great. But this is actually best office chair under 100. It seems like the Neo chair is under $100. So then you're going to look at what is your competition out there. You've got a couple other videos around here, chair reviews. But I wouldn't be intimidated by the competition. You actually should be encouraged that there is interest in this topic. And if this individual got 129,000 views, well, with a new channel, instead of you getting 12 views, there's a good chance if you dial in your strategy well, that you could get 120, 1,200, even 12,000, rank your video, find your angle. One of the best angles would be what's the best chair under $100 2025 update? And this guy who made a video 2 years ago, you're jumping in the fact that you're the most recent video. You can carve out your views even with a small channel by just having the right strategy, a little bit of grit, a little bit of intentionality in there. And so that's the point. So like you're going to do your research using the autocomplete and maybe look about, okay, should I position this as the Neo chair? And then by the way, best desk chair or office chair under 100 ? Neo chair review. Notice what also just happened there. This is a positioning from the beginnings of planning out your video. We haven't even filmed the video yet.
Right.
So the reason, like we have this process, this framework that looks like this, and it's a continuous process. Reverse engineer, research, record is step 3. So the intentionality that you do in reverse engineering, researching, planning out your title and the angle of the video. I saw a question somebody asked earlier. They said, well, why would I have multiple versions of the same product? Fair enough, especially when you're starting. Someday you're going to start getting sent products. So eventually you'll have multiple versions. Someday, if you're getting, you've got income coming in, and I'm not suggesting you are overspending at the start, but reinvesting later. Like we work with brands and they send us stuff, but we'll also purchase a lot. We'll purchase stuff in preparation for Prime Day. We will ask ourselves the question, what's the best budget lighting kit? We'll do a lot of research. We'll purchase 3 lighting kits that are $80, $110, $130. Again, I'm not like lucky for you, Sean. No, I'm just saying like eventually this is a business, like, and it's a cool, fun way of testing things, trying things out, experimenting. And so we're reinvesting in a cool way of like being the guinea pigs, being QVC, being able to test stuff, but you don't have to do that at the start. So at the start, you just are looking for the opportunities in your garage, and in your garage is a portable battery pack charger that you purchased. And then on, your last Father's Day, it was like, oh, I didn't know you already had one. And your wife bought you another one. And now you do have 2. So compare those 2 things, like leverage the things that you have. And in some cases, it could be as simple as maybe you've been, taking turmeric with curcumin, and you tried one for a month and then you tried another. So it's not always like an $100. There's just so many different ways to see the opportunities in your own pantry and, start getting some views. Start just it's like, the cool thing about this is it's really not about your resources. It is about your resourcefulness. Mm-hmm. It's about your creativity. It's about just using your smartphone, using what you have today. It's the way I built up my career. I would oftentimes ask myself too, talking about cameras, how can I take one thing I have and use it in 5 to 10 different ways? And here's what I mean. It's like, I don't have money to just buy cameras, especially cameras. I don't just have $800 or $1,200, but to buy every new camera. But I would take one camera, and this is in particularly helpful related to tutorials. And I would be like, okay, best settings for the Canon M50. And then I'd make another video, best lenses for the Canon M50. And then I would make another video test. And this was based on research. People were looking for the 4K video test of the Canon M50. So I would make that. I'd take the one camera I have. And then eventually I did have an older camera, the Canon 60D. So then I did that Canon M50 versus the Canon 60D. I couldn't do every versus video, but I could do the one of the previous camera and the newer camera I had. Or you could go iPhone versus Canon M50, which is another thing people are searching for. So the epiphanies that will start to come when you kind of master that reverse engineer stage and that research stage are many. And even just on this conversation, you're probably seeing, okay, there's a lot more opportunities in my pantry and my garage than I realize. It's how creative can you get, validate your ideas before you post them, and then, be willing to realize that everybody starts with 0 subscribers. Everybody starts with no videos. And even the big channels, they had to start somewhere. And so we are growing our YouTube channel 1 view at a time, 1 subscriber at a time. But what's waiting for you on the other side of some courage and commitment and consistency is a lot of opportunity.
So encouraging. I love it. And I think, one thing to reiterate the encouragement to everyone is that, right, even if you're just starting today or your channel has under 1,000 subscribers, use what you have, right? It's okay to just repurpose your Amazon videos, throw them up on YouTube, but then get better. Like Sean says, get 1% better with every single one. And I will say to, kind of, again, be encouraging to people that are like, well, no, I can't go out and just buy whatever I feel like on Amazon to do these comparison videos. One of the reasons that there are many reasons I consistently post on my YouTube channel under the Smart Business Mom name. But ever since I've been doing that, I get so many brands that reach out to me now that see that channel, right? And it's not a huge channel, but I will say that lots of brands reach out to me because they've already seen a video that I've done on a product that they have, or a very similar product. I joked in one of the other previous live streams that I now have 3 outdoor patio sets at my house. I actually just gave one away because I keep getting brands that are like, we love your patio set video. And those things are expensive, $500, $600, $700. And so I've gotten quite a few of those for free now because I keep making these videos about patio sets. And so don't be discouraged if you're like, I don't have, 2 espresso machines or 2 patio sets, right? Just keep creating great content, posting it up on Amazon and on YouTube. And be open to opportunity because you never know, what could come of all of that. All right. So we're like almost at the top of the hour. That hour went by so incredibly fast. I appreciate everyone's questions and comments. And Sean, as we wrap up, is there any pro tips, any, words of advice that you want to give to everyone who needs help with YouTube? How can we continue to grow our channels? How can we continue to monetize them and create the best content, that we can?
Yeah, I think, and thanks so much for having me on. It's been fun. And thank everybody for being here. Denise and Scott and Roberts. By the way, Robert said, I bought a light kit with your link. I appreciate it, Robert. Roberts with a Z. Grateful for you. So, I think my biggest thought is like, don't overthink this. Punch fear in the face, press record. Like, show up, make simple videos with your smartphone that you would want to watch and that you would want to share with your friends, just simply sharing your advice. It's like if your friend said, hey, I'm thinking about buying an espresso machine. Can you FaceTime me? And can we talk really quick? I just have some questions for you. Okay, sure. And so now you're on video, you're FaceTiming with your friend. And like, and then imagine, or even if you were to do FaceTime with your friend, yeah, I was just curious, like, how much did the pods cost for that Nespresso? Oh, they're about, $20 a pack. Okay. How much counter space does it take up? And then you're like, oh, let me turn it on. So you're showing them, yeah, I mean, so it's on the counter. Okay, great. How's it taste? Is it better than the Keurig? Or actually, let me demo one of these for you. Because I know you have a Keurig and you got that new espresso. I'm just got some questions for you. And like the same way you just talk to a friend, and what information would you want? You would just tell them the good and the bad, or you might say, oh, Frank, don't get the Nespresso. This thing is so buggy, it doesn't work. That's the other thing. It's like, actually, like, stick with the Keurig or actually get this other one. And so affiliate marketing in an ethical and cool way is like sharing the products you love and use and have tested, and sharing in the same information that you would tell your parents, your friends, your sister, your brother. You're just pouring out from the heart, and you're thinking about just scratching the itch that you would have if you were to walk into Best Buy to buy tech. You hope you meet somebody in the washer and dryer section, or in the microwave section, or in the camera section, that can just answer your questions. Like, just, yeah, is it, I mean, how heavy is it? You're holding it there. They can't hold, they're watching on video. Do you think it would fit in a small backpack? What are the accessory options? What are the other options you could compare it to? So my thought is like, don't overthink this. Use your smartphone, build out videos that are just helpful, friendly, and don't be afraid to put out bad videos at the start. Your first videos would be your worst videos. There's a 4-step framework my friend Ben told me, and on the road to success, and I think it's true for YouTube. He said it's success. Your first video might not be very good. Your second one will probably be worse. Your third one might even be worse than that. But by number 4, you might actually start to be like, oh, I'm kind of getting a hang of this. And the world we're living in is as easy as it would be to FaceTime a friend and talk to them for 10 minutes. It would be equally as easy to hit record on your camera, like the Nespresso video we said. Just go and start filming. And then you might be like, it's kind of embarrassing. I don't like the sound of my voice or whatever. But you just put it out there, optimize it well, and then repeat the process. And the level of confidence and momentum you can have after weeks and months is just like riding a bike. You eventually, my 4-year-old, we just took his training wheels off. He's and sometimes he'd be like, no, don't do it. But finally we did it. And so the same when it comes to creating content, it's kind of like a muscle that after you do repetitions, you will get you're more confident and comfortable. So my send-off message is like, don't overthink this. Post your first video today. Like, do it in the next, I don't know what you have coming up in the next 60 minutes. Do it right now. Like, apply what you just learned in this video, and then just keep doing it. And you're going to be shocked how much momentum you'll have over the coming months and years.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Yes. Practice makes progress, right? Don't overthink it. And I love that idea of just, even if you're not talking to a friend, pretend like you're talking to a friend, because it really takes a lot of, the anxiety and the jitters out from, all of us who may have a little camera anxiety. So you guys make sure that you grab Sean's free resource. We have it linked in the chat. It's also up on the screen right now. It's going to help you get more traffic to your affiliate links on YouTube. Sean, thank you so much again for joining me today. I know I can already see in the chat how incredibly helpful this was. Fearless Mermaid wishes there was a love button instead of just a like button so that she could love it. So that's one of our regulars, Gigi. Thank you. Thank you. And the replay will be posted right here on this same link. So everybody who joined late can go back and watch it from the start as soon as we log off here. Again, Sean, thank you so much. Everyone, thank you so much for watching. You guys always have such great questions. And we won't be back next week because it is the holiday, so I will be taking a week off. But after 2 weeks from now, we will be talking about our post-Prime Day wrap-up. So don't forget, Prime Day is coming up. We've got about 10 days until Prime Day happens, and that's going to be very exciting for everyone. So get your content ready, get prepped for Prime Day, and make sure you like this video and feel free to share it with anyone else that you think could benefit from learning something from us today. So until next time, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you so much, Sean, for being here. We'll see you guys next time.